Okay, so why we require a skill set like this and what we do, I'll just cover it. Aerospace and defense, $1 trillion industry. An edge case, a lot of people don't know is the flight simulators. They're expensive, $5 to $9 billion. Between 30 to 15 airplanes each requires a simulator. Simulator is as expensive as an airplane. Another interesting fact, 80% of the simulator market is held by 3 companies which don't make airplanes, of which 59% is by 1 company. Global oligopoly, perfect. eVTOLs, Blue Jay will cover a bit. Battery operated vertical takeoff and landing airplane, expected to revolutionize, next biggest revolution in aviation, expected to be $2 trillion market, is going to require a lot of these simulators which the world doesn't have yet. Our simulator India imports all its level D simulators, about $1 billion market. Our simulator, we want to make India a net exporter of simulators to the world. That's our motivation. This is the regulatory stuff. A level D requires essentially a lot of things, but one thing all need to see is it requires 6 degrees of freedom. Roll, pitch, yaw, up, down, sideways, front and back. 6 degrees of freedom. Why this is essential, I'll come to you. This is how a level D simulator looks like. Some of you must have seen it. It sits on something called a 6-leg hexapod or a stewards platform. Because it does the 6 degrees of freedom, but because of its geometry, it's limited to about 30 degrees max, often much lesser. Projection system is really the bulky visual projectors. Works for civil aviation because the pilots don't need to see much, but doesn't work for military aviation where the pilot needs to see all around. Also doesn't work well for helicopters because the helicopters yaw 360 pretty much. It's okay. It's been like this legacy technology for the last 40 years. Military uses something called a dome simulator, which is like a planetarium. Again, projectors projecting onto the surface and the cockpit is static. So the visuals move, but you are sitting straight. So in there, if you're inverted, you'll sit straight, but the visuals are inverted. They're expensive, between $12 to $20 million. There's a shortage of simulators. Utilization crosses 16 hours a day. An hour on the simulators costs between $600 to $2,000, depending on the type of airplane. A Bombardier Global Express class have probably globally 3-4 simulators. You need to really travel outside to get trained. Imagine yourself in a cockpit, think that you are left 40 degrees. Immediately that gets reset. That's because when you have visual inputs, 80% of your orientation comes from your eyes. So rest of it is other things like semicircular canals, ceto pants, etc. The real challenge is when you do not have visual inputs like dark night, featureless terrain, snow, sea, etc. Then what happens is when you don't have eyes, your ears are 75%. Ears means there is something called semicircular canals inside the ears. Passenger aircraft, likely cause of accident, spatial disorientation. There was one just last week in US, Tennessee, I think. Full passenger song. Disorientation, fully flyworthy airplane. Fly Dubai, Russia, 2016. Coming out of clouds, pilot disoriented. Immediately after, he went around and disoriented and crashed. So FAA has analyzed US Air Force's Class A mishaps. Every other type of accident has reduced in the last 40-50 years, except disorientation, which is the red line. Reason is technology is able to solve everything, but human physiology doesn't get solved so easily. Only way to overcome this is training. And simulators which can train for spatial disorientation and upset and recovery. Air France 447, upset recovery. This is what the current level D stewards platform does. When the airplane is banking, it matches up to the degree allowed. After that, it actually comes back. You fool with it's a visual fooling after that. So it's not suitable to train for spatial disorientation. So what's our innovation? We are solving this by building a platform which rotates 360 degree around all 3 axes and does the simulation training. So this is the design. I'll show the actual machine. Rotates 360 degree around all 3 axes. I solve the visual. Instead of projectors, we use virtual reality and mixed reality. So the pilot sits inside, it rotates. So it solves the spatial disorientation training gap. Hold it here. Market is big, about $18 billion. This point, we expect some eVTOLs to be certified, Joby, Archer, etc. Mostly happen in US. Thereafter will come to Australia and other countries. There is some competition. CAE has acquired half of this business. Now they own 59% of the market. Innovations are coming. This is a New Zealand company, Nova 360. Some of you must be familiar. This is an augmented reality headset and things are coming up. Yes, but we are the only one from India at this point in this space. Okay, hold it. When I say make in India, we made it, we really made it. We did the design, we cut the metal, we wrote the code, we achieved the control of it. This is our software. We own every bit and byte of this. This is LCA, light combat aircraft, Indian made fighter aircraft. We wrote the code. This is the 3D model. Imagine yourself sitting inside our simulator, experiencing this, going vertically down, hanging by your straps in the 3D visuals. It's ready to fly. It's about 40 minutes from here. I flew about 4 hours. Tomorrow I'll fly another hour to keep refining it. This is our load test with a metal dummy, 80 kgs, just to test that the bearings are holding. Added a canopy for extra safety and to I just realized that the VR headset required black surroundings. It was getting confused otherwise, so I covered it with black now. Business model is simple. We just target 6 segments, 3 product types. Yeah, so spatial disorientation, upset recovery, military fixed wing, helicopter, eVTOLs, flight schools, entertainment and educational institutes. And the product, the version 1 is very basic, 2 is little advanced, 3 is certifiable. We call it level X because there's no regulatory standard for such a machine even to have a certification. Ambitious, doable. We are winning awards. TI rated us in the top 100 emerging potential unicorns. IIT Kharagpur, most innovative startup. Yeah. But the real recognition is not this. Real recognition is the market. Saving one accident, one life is worth all that we do. That's all, gentlemen. Thanks.